In a quiet village, nestled between emerald hills and winding streams, life moved at a gentle rhythm. The air was often filled with the sounds of laughter and the scent of earth after rain. In the heart of this village lived a woman whose happiness was as constant as the rising sun, even though her means were modest and her hands had weathered many seasons of work. Her joy was not loud or boastful, but rather a steady glow, an unwavering warmth that seemed to bless everyone who crossed her path. Through years of hardship and plenty, she remained a beacon. Neighbors would often remark on how her laughter seemed to rise above sorrow, how even in the leanest times, her eyes sparkled with hope and her spirit never faltered. She taught by example, her wisdom woven into the fabric of daily life in the way she greeted each morning, tended her small garden, and cared for those in need. One stormy afternoon, as thunder echoed in the hills and rain lashed against windows, a weary traveler appeared at her door. His clothes were soaked, his face drawn with exhaustion and worry. He had lost his job and the savings that once gave him security. The road ahead seemed dark and uncertain, and the weight of his troubles pressed heavily on his heart. The old woman welcomed him with kindness, inviting him to warm himself by the fire. She brewed 2 cups of tea, one bitter, the other fragrant with wild herbs from her garden. As the rain danced on the roof above, she offered him the bitter tea first, explaining, "This is life's hardship, bitter to swallow, but it awakens something inside us." He took a tentative sip, wincing at the taste, and set it aside. She then offered the herbal tea, saying, "This is life's small joys, sometimes overlooked, but always present if we choose to notice. It soothes the soul." After a pause, the traveler voiced the question that haunted him. "The bitter seems endless. How can I taste joy when the struggle never ends?" Her smile was gentle, her voice soothing. "Life hands us both cups," she replied. "We cannot control what's poured into our hands, but we can choose which cup we raise to our lips more often. Hardship is real, and so is joy. The secret is in noticing the good, no matter how small." She spoke softly of her own life, of love and loss, of days when sorrow seemed to stretch on forever. She remembered her late husband with fondness and the children who had grown and moved away. She recalled the pain of illness and the ache of loneliness, but she also described the beauty she found in everyday moments: the golden glow of a sunrise, the laughter of a child, the comforting aroma of baking bread, and the simple joy of a friend's smile. Each memory, she said, was a drop in her cup of happiness. "Every day, I choose to notice those small things," she continued. "Sometimes it's a beam of sunlight through the window. Sometimes it's just the breath in my lungs. That is enough." As the storm faded, the traveler began to see what she meant. His burdens felt lighter, and he realized that even in the midst of loss, there was still beauty to be found, if only he looked for it. He stayed in the village for a while, walking with her at dawn, sharing simple meals and listening to her stories. He watched how she greeted each day with gratitude, finding joy in the smallest moments. Slowly, he understood. Happiness isn't the absence of pain, but the presence of gratitude. On the morning he left, she pressed a small pouch of herbs into his hand. "Let this remind you," she said, "that joy is something you carry within. Choose to drink from that cup and share it with others." As he walked away, the sun pierced the clouds and the world seemed a little brighter. With each step, he felt hope returning. And he knew that the most powerful choice he could make was to notice, to appreciate, and to taste joy, even when life was bitter.